Yo, what is going on, everybody? My name is Cheyenne, and if you clicked on this video, um, it's because you're interested in my transformation. You've seen my page, and you clicked the YouTube link. So I really appreciate you guys for joining in, and I'd love to talk about how I got rid of my stubborn belly fat and gained 25 pounds of muscle as a software engineer in tech. As you can see on the picture on the left, pretty chunky, pretty overweight. Just, I have some muscle under there, but you just can't see it. But on the right side, pretty lean, pretty diced. And yeah, I'd love to go into how I got there, what I did to get there, as well as like who I am. Um, so, who am I? I am a software engineer in tech, as well as someone who's really passionate about bodybuilding. I was always really into it, but it took me a really long time to figure out my diet. And that's what I'll explain in my transformation. But the diet was always the hard part. I was always really into training and physical activity. So I'll go into who I am, my transformation from before. So here, let me move my little camera thing so you can see this top left picture. So starting in the top left, this is me like at 12 or 13 years old. It's really chunky, just a big ball of fat. But I was really, really overweight, like just loved eating a lot of sweets and stuff. Um, but just, yeah, I mean, it's just a fat kid, fat chubby kid. But I was always really into sports and specifically soccer. So if you see this like bottom left picture is when I was playing competitively at a high level, but I was like had this like skinny fat kind of body, which is pretty predominant in a lot of South Asian males. So yeah, I had that physique for sure that I'm sure a lot of other people have had before too. But this was like my first day or two at the gym after, and I started working out just with a couple of buddies in high school. It was my second semester of junior year, so I probably was like around 16 and a half. I'm going on 17. And then this was like my senior year of high school where I was playing a lot of soccer, so doing a lot of cardio. I was playing 3 times a week for practice, and then 1 to 2 times for my 90-minute games. And I was going to the gym at least 3 times a week. So I gained a little bit of muscle. As you can see, my chest kind of developed, but no abs at all, despite how lean I was. Like you can see my V line, but I just wasn't. Had no ab muscles at all. Um, Fast forward to college. This was my sophomore year of college in quarantine. I just gained a lot of body fat. I got like a little dad body belly. So I was like, okay, time to lock in day three of abs. And yeah, I set up a home gym outside with a squat rack, dumbbells, just like picked up random shit off of Facebook Marketplace. And that was one of the best decisions I ever made because not only did I transform my body completely for the first time, but I also like got to work out with the homies like every day. So that was pretty fun. But yeah, as you can see in this picture, this is after. So I was doing like jump rope every single day, and I was working out every single day. My it was just push pull legs, push pull legs, just every day, back to back to back. So that was pretty lit. Did that for like a year during quarantine, um, and then my junior year of college, I decided to go on like a bulk, but I just started eating everything in sight just because we're back in person and stuff. So I just put on a lot of body fat. I went from like 160 to like 180. And yeah, this is like me after just really chunky. My chest, my arms, my shoulders, my back all grew, my legs, but at what cost? Like you put on a lot of body fat, and it's just not really worth losing all that weight, especially for someone who struggles so hard with their diet. So I'm sure if you're coming here, it's because you struggle with your diet, and um, so I understand. So at this point, I was like, okay, time to lock in. But this was after my senior year of college. I decided to lock in. I just graduated and I was overweight and unemployed due to the tech market, software engineering market. So I had an internship under my belt already, but it wasn't enough. I started working part time as a contractor, and I did two different startups, and I also locked in the gym. So I lost like 30 pounds. I got to 150 pounds here, pretty lean, but I felt really skinny and flat. Even here, like you can kind of see my abs, but not really there yet. My chest looks good, but I was like, you know what? I need to bulk back up again. And I made the same damn mistake again, and I got hella fat. I gained a lot of muscle, I will say, but I just put on a lot of body fat, and I also got injured during that time, so it was kind of like a hard time to train. I still trained, but just not as intense. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm fed up with this. Time to really, really lock in and maintain that physique. So this is where I came up with the full stack physique, and this is me after. So pretty much I did one cut and it wasn't enough to lose the weight that I wanted. So I took a little break and I'm like, you know what? Just reset for like a month, maintain that physique that I lost. I think I lost like 15 pounds, and then I was like, okay, let's cut again. So this is what I look like after. So yeah, just hella lean. I'm not sure what my body fat percentage was. I don't really care too much about the numbers. It's more about how you look. And that's what I'll focus for you. Like, even if you need to keep losing weight to achieve the look you want, then that's what we'll do. But as you can see, I finally saw my abs for the first time. Went from like here, day three of abs, to like, now seeing abs for the first time. That was like the sickest feeling ever. And I hope I get to help you with that as well. But yeah, just veiny as hell, chest striations, shoulder veins. Um, you could see my lats here coming out. It was just a sick ass feeling being in shape and fit and lean. You just feel so light. You feel energized. You feel like you could do anything. You feel more social, confident. So I hope I can help achieve that for you. And so going into transitioning into what the biggest problems most men who work full time face, that I personally experienced was, first off, training without a system. So if you don't have a system that works with your schedule, um, you often make the excuse like, oh, I have limited time, and because I don't have a consistent routine, I'm just going to eat poorly. So it's just like a constant feedback loop that you put yourself in, and you trick your mind into thinking it's okay, but it's really not, because you're just comfortable being in that same position, but you need something to stimulate change in you. And that's exactly what I did. I created a split that worked for me, a workout split that worked for me, a training meal plan that worked for me. And yeah, that's how I got the results that I did. Um, so, how am I different compared to other people? I wouldn't consider myself someone that is selling anything that's set in stone. It's all custom to you and to what you want, and um, to what you prefer. So that's kind of how like I develop my full stack physique. It's very, very personal. I just did a lot of trial and error and picked and grabbed from the various sources. As you can see, like I was 16 and a half to 16 and a half, 17, like when I first started working on the gym. And only when I turned 24 is when I would say like I 23, 24, I achieved like my physique that I'm really proud of getting. Um, no, I'm not gonna stop there just because I really enjoy bodybuilding and I want to get as big as naturally possible. But you know, that's another conversation. But yeah, this is a system that I've personally used to get in the best shape that I've ever been, and I can do that for you. So these are the four pillars of the full stack physique method. So the first one is training, the second one is nutrition, and third one is mindset, and the last one is lifestyle, which we'll talk about all together. And all four pillars together are what's going to create a sustainable lifestyle training program for you. So first one up is training, and I put this first just because this is what I love the most. And the primary objective here is workouts that you enjoy and that will actually help you achieve your goals. So, you know, a lot of people just basic stuff, flat bench press, flat dumbbell bench press, and you know, a lot of people don't even like that, or it doesn't even stimulate growth for them. So what I want to do for you is develop a training split that you enjoy and that you don't really have to think about doing anymore, and despite the limited time and busy schedule you have, you can actually achieve. So each body part gets hit 2 times a week, and we're doing cardio 2 to 3 times a week minimum. And each day that you go into the gym, which is probably around 4 to 5 times, 60 minutes max. It's quick and efficient. I don't spend any more time than I need to unless I'm yapping to someone at the gym. But other than that, like my training is very efficient and focused, and that's exactly what it will be for you. Nutrition wise, the objectives here are to find foods that work for you, that you can actually eat without like suffering. Like if like we all know the classic bodybuilding meal is just chicken and rice, plain, you know, no seasoning, but that's not sustainable. And we want to create tasty, high protein, high volume, satiating food, especially like foods that make you full over a long time, because oftentimes our brains think that we're actually hungry, but we're actually craving the foods that those like high sugar and like really tasty foods that we like. And so once you fill your stomach up with food, you're like, oh, well, wow, I don't even want that anymore. So um, the next pillar is mindset. So the objective here is to learn how to control your mouth. And what that means is self-control. You know, a lot of times we seek rapid, instant gratification on things that, um, yeah, instant gratification. So, and that also comes into play with food. You know, like chips are a really easy source of just mindlessly snacking, but being cognizant of like what you're doing and actually conscious of like, okay, I'm gonna eat this. This is this amount of calories, and this is gonna give me this X amount of nutritional value is really important. And a lot of people might think like, oh, it's obsessive and this and that, but if you're not meticulous about these kind of things, then you won't really achieve your goals, because you need to know exactly ABC of what you're putting into your body and how that's actually affecting your body, because your body is smart. It responds to what you put in. What you put in is what you get out. So as well as learning how to envision what you want short term and long term, I think vision and like yeah, vision practice is really important. Just kind of, I'll teach you how to like envision in your brain what you will look like 3 months from now, even 1 month from now. How do you want to see yourself, and who is that person going to be, and what habits, what um, lifestyle is going to take that person to get there. So yeah, change, and that goes into changing your poor habits into habits that will keep you consistently in shape for the rest of your life. Because the main goal here is not for like a short-term transformation, but it's for a maintainable, sustainable lifestyle for you. And going into lifestyle, it's a system that integrates with your life. And I know as someone who works in tech and has a family, like you have a busy life. You have people that you're responsible for, and that's part of life. And you work because you have to support them. You have to support yourself. You have bills to pay, and I completely understand that. But you also have to prioritize your health and well-being and happiness, because what's the point of all the labor that you put in to get that money, and you grinded school so hard to get the job that you have and the career that you have, yet you can't enjoy it because you don't feel good about yourself, of where you are, how you look. Um, and that's really important, and I definitely learned that. um, as well as prioritize sleep, stress, and recovery. This is really underrated. Having poor sleep, I know, especially as people who have jobs, we have to be in office on time or just be on the clock on time, and we often sacrifice our sleep, and that increases our cortisol. So then it's just a constant feedback loop of uh, poor sleep, high stress, and then not prioritizing ourselves at all. So I want to create something that's flexible for everyone, um, custom to you, and that you will be sustainable for you. So if you've reached up until this slide, it's because you already know the answer to this question, and it's because this is a system that will work for you, and um, that has worked for me, and you've seen something that you can relate to in my transformation. So this is a system that uh, it can be customized for you to achieve your goals. So let's dive into what the program entails. This is probably my favorite part, just like the program details. So this is where the first phase is the system setup. So this is where we lay the foundation, we build the structure, and we eliminate any guesswork. So what that means is the numbers are there. I know we all deal with numbers all day, and it comes the same with when it comes to dieting. So at the end of the day, it's just a numbers game. So our objective is baseline habits for the first month, and getting your consistent training schedule down, um, 4 to 5 times a week, like I talked about. Strength training focused. Each muscle gets hit around two to 2 times per week, and 2 to 3 sessions of steady state cardio for 30 minutes minimum, depending on your nutrition and everything will increase this. But based on your nutrition, we'll calculate your total daily expenditure exposure, and this is going to tell us like how many calories you can eat at maintenance or in a slight deficit, depending on your goals. And then we'll have we'll set you up with a tracking app called Chronometer, which is what I use, as well as weekly progress pics and daily progress pics. I require daily progress pics because I like seeing day to day, and then just like over time, and then weekly to daily check-ins as well, like texts here and there, see how you're doing, especially in the first month. um, and then phase two will be the called the progressive build. So this is where we dial in consistency, increase output, and start compounding on the results. So what this means is that um, we'll start progressively overloading, so that way you can actually build muscle. So depending on your experience level in the gym, um, uh, will increase your intensity and volume, and adjust your split based on preferences. And because I come from a bodybuilding background, I have a lot of knowledge when it comes to training. So this is where I can really adjust based on your training level. and experience level, and can help you achieve hypertrophy a lot better. Like I was talking about, those basic um, workouts that you might be doing even right now, um, they're not specifically in tune just for everyone's body to stimulate growth. And that's kind of what I learned over the years, is that there's certain exercises that just don't feel good for you, at least in the moment. Maybe you might come back to it and they feel good, but in the moment, they're not the best. And there's certain exercises that are typically the best, and I would want you to try out based on my own experiences. Um, Then for nutrition, we'll reassess your calories based on your progress every 4 weeks. And what this means is making sure you're not plateauing. And if you're plateauing, then we'll adjust your calories, either dropping it a little bit more or increasing your activity. It's based on what you do, what you can do. For me personally, I always try to increase my activity more than lowering the calories, just because I like to eat more. So if you're like me in that sense, then we will do that. And then last but not least, this is phase three, which is the autonomy mode. So like an autonomous object, this is just like this is a system that's been refined and mastered, where you don't have to think about it anymore. And this is where I've achieved personally. I don't have to think about when I'm gonna go get a lift, or um, if I'm going to hit my, sorry, I'm not gonna question if I'm gonna lift today, or if I'm gonna hit my calorie limit today. It's when am I gonna lift, and what foods are gonna make up uh, the calories that are gonna be at my limit. It's not a question if I'm not gonna do those things, and that's exactly what's gonna happen for you once you reach this point, because you've achieved all the principles to have the consistency, the system, and the habits that will allow you to just not even think about these things anymore. So we're going to own the system. You're going to own the system, adapt it for life. You're going to stay lean as hell, strong, and in control for the rest of your life. You're not going to let any outside factors affect you anymore, because this is one less thing that you have to think about now. So, and when there's things that you don't have to think about, it's not a question of if you're going to do them. Um, and so, training will spice it up a little bit, maybe depending on your experience level, as well as nutrition, like I was talking about. Will introduce different techniques. So, one thing is something called carb cycling, um, if you reach plateaus. And then, sustainability wise, this is where I've now given you the reins on all the knowledge that I have, and you can now pretty much eat at maintenance without tracking much. So what this means is like uh, with like a 80, 85, 90% ratio of like good food, high protein foods, and then like 10%, 10, 15% of just like foods that you want to eat and enjoy. You can do that, and you don't have to track it anymore, because you've achieved your physique, you've boosted your metabolism, you've transformed your body, and you've earned it. So now it's just that doesn't mean just like binging like I've done in the past, um, and I won't do again, hopefully. But now you can actually enjoy your physique, enjoy your how you look and how you feel, as well as all the other fruits of your labor. So yeah, that's the end of the program phases. And if you've reached this slide, it's because you know all the reasons um, of why you would be interested in the full stack physique, and these are all the reasons why that I've created it. And I mean, I didn't create it with the intent of um, just to create it. I did it because I wanted to change my life, and I wanted to change my physique, and it did. Like I locked in the gym, and I that helped me lock in for my career, because I didn't have a job, and I focused on the things that I could control. And the only thing I could control was what I was eating, and my training consistency, my sleep, my recovery, my hydration, and my mentality. So those things are what I could control. And when I stop thinking about, um, oh, when am I going to get a job? When am I going to get this? When am I going to get that? That's when I achieve those things. Um, so I attribute it all to what I learned in the full stack physique. So um, some insight on the program interview. This is just like a bare bones program, but uh, it's just like a bare bones program, but it'll be pretty customized for you. But this is just like things that I do on a regular push pull leg day. I This is what I first started with, but now as I've been more experienced and I have more lagging body parts, so I have like body parts that are good or a bit more developed than others. So I prioritize those in a split. But this is the split that I used to achieve my initial transformation. So yeah, if you're interested in applying, please book a call below in the calendar link or just send me a message on IG at shay.fitty. I really appreciate you all for watching. I know this is a long video and there's a lot of stuff to be covered, but if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And I'm really excited in helping you specifically achieve your goals because I know exactly how it feels to be in your position. And I know it's not the best thing to be in when you don't like the physique that you see in the mirror. So, yeah, just give me a call or like message me, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you.